Are you a professional wrestling fan?
I am now that Punk's around. Yeah, sure.
Did you grow up watching any of it? I mean,
I did.
you're in New York. I mean, that was the mecca for
Absolutely.
the WWF at the time.
Yeah, because they played at Madison Square Garden and they played at the Meadowlands all the time. But yeah, so I sort of like, it's in the background. I would watch wrestling, but I was really into a bunch of that stuff. And then to find out that this guy who went from backyard to WWE, WWF to back to ACW and then back to WWE, and the whole time he never let go of Cult of Personality as his entrance music.
Right.
You know, and the way he tells it was like when he was in Little League in the suburbs of Chicago, that was the team's entrance music was Cult of Personality. Evidently they had a very progressive coach. He really dug the song, so he kept it his whole career.
Yeah. See, I'm a big wrestling fan. I followed CM Punk. He started using the song, I believe, in like 2011. Probably had it in some indie stuff before, but when everyone started, making Cult of Personality and CM Punk go hand in hand was really in 2011. And then you pointed out, and then he's gone to different organizations and it's followed him. And it's come back again. He recently is now back in the WWE. He got WrestleMania 40 coming up here. Well, while we're recording this episode, will come out, it'll have already happened. But I'm a big fan. I'm looking forward to it. And as I'm and being on both sides, I'm friends with a lot of wrestlers now from doing the podcast, just from being a fan and stuff, and a lot of mutual friends. So I've never had the pleasure of meeting Punk to ask him about it. But from my music side, I'm also wondering what was it like on the business side, like the publishing? Like, what is that? What not no you go into specific details on it, but how does that come to you when it's 2011 and WWE is going to use it for his entrance music, and it's a song that goes back to the early 90s? Like, what is that?
That kind of stuff keeps my children very happy. How about that?
Very cool. Yeah, that's a good answer, man.
How about, they whatever pair of sneakers they want.
That's cool, but I guess you don't have to go too much more detail than that. But I mean, is it an every time it's played kind of thing, or is there a deal that just kind of spans a contract
with the WWE?
Yeah,
I think that they license it for a particular point for a particular time. Like they license it for. Like we're licensing it for WrestleMania. We're licensing it for Raw for a season. Because Punk is gonna be like the middle card on every place they play for this season, and there's a fat check for it.
Yeah, I mean. And on that though, they've had at WrestleManias in the past and some of the bigger pay-per-views, they've definitely had artists who they use their songs for their intros and stuff come out and actually perform them. Has there ever been any talks of having Living Colour bring out CM Punk for a big event?
We did. I forget which WrestleMania we did, but we played at Giant Stadium.
Oh shit!
For Punk, yeah.
It feels like something I should have known as a wrestling fan, but I'll admit there was about a decade plus where I wasn't dead focused on it for a little while.
Right. Sometimes I forget too.
Well, that's got to be really cool though for everybody involved there, man. And then you mentioned though, real quick, when were you aware when it was going to AEW more than when he went there? He had a short stint in AEW recently.
Yeah.
And they obviously went and took the rights for it for a while there too.
They had it for a minute, yeah. And I think once WWF got sold, I think the McMahon sold. Once they sold, it's like a huge, ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, they joined with the UFC. I'm trying to blank on the conglomerate that has a few other companies now.
Yeah. It's some ridiculous deal. They called back a bunch of people, everybody, but of course Chris Jericho, because Chris was running AEW. Right. But I'm sure he'll be back soon too. When we met Chris too, we did his podcast a couple of years back.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. He's a friend of mine.
Yeah. But we had a good, they had like I said, when back in the day, when Punk was first going to WWF, they were like, okay, so we're going to get you your own entrance music. He's like, no, I already have entrance music. Like, he made it a point that I'm not changing my entrance music, because they had their own music division of the WWF, and they were going to have somebody make up a song that sounded similar to Cult's personality, and that's what's going to be his entrance music. No, I don't want that. I want the real thing. Want the real thing. He's like one of the talent that actually got that in his contract, that wherever he goes, that goes with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. I mean, there's only a handful of guys that have that kind of clout to throw that around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good guy to have in your guys' corner, for your children, for them shoes. That's shout out to CM Punk for all that, right?
Exactly. Car payments are good because of CM Punk. Yeah.